Hello there guys, welcome to another quick unboxing. Basically, we are looking at the power supply, so I forgot to turn the light on. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I went for this particular power supply, and before you start screaming at me, why I went for this wattage. So, I got this off Amazon. It's an EVGA 500 watt power supply. So we'll quickly do the unboxing. So we've got the manual obviously. Which is designed for the 430 and 500 watt. This is the 500 watt version. Now, you'll probably think to yourself, first and foremost, let me explain. I'm going to have there's a Core i7 4790K going in this rig, okay? We're putting a GTX 770 graphics card and 32 gigabytes of RAM in it. It's also going to be running a Kraken water cooling system with a dual setup radiator, and you're probably wondering to yourself, well, why did I go for a 500 watt power supply? Well, it's a bit of a false analogy, right? You've got to remember this, okay? If you buy a high-end system, don't think you need to buy, say for instance, a 1000 watt power supply. It's not needed, because all you're doing with buying more power than you need is sucking out more power from the wall, which is generating a more electricity bill. Now, there is a website I went on to check all my components. It's by, I think it's by Cooler Master. I'll leave a link in the description below. And basically what that allows you to do is select all the components that are basically going in the rig, and then hit a calculate button. And basically what it does, it tells you exactly how much wattage will be pulled out of the power supply from the system. Now, with all the components I've just said, there'll be a maximum 350 watts pulled from the system. So don't feel, and that's with a GTX 770. Now, don't feel you have to go out and buy like an 8,000-9,000 watt power supply if you want a good setup. As long as, if you're running, say for instance, SLI, then maybe, you're needing a 600-700 watt power supply. But if you're like myself, I'm just running a single card in this rig, then basically 500 watt is more than adequate for a build like this. And it's a very powerful build anyway, so don't feel you have to go out and spend all that money on a power supply, because you don't need to. Excuse me. As long as it's a decent power supply. If you go for a piece of shit, then obviously you're going to have problems. If you go for a 500 watt power supply that's crap, then you're going to have problems. But as long as your power supply is decent and a decent label, decent spec, you should be fine. Absolutely fine. So what we've got here, we've got quite a few features on this EVGA 500 watt power supply. So you get the power lead obviously supplied with it to power the power supply up. And then you've got enough power for your graphics card. So you've got two 6-pin to 8-pin PCI express adapters, which is great. You've got, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 5, by the looks of it, 5 SATA ports, 5 SATA connections, which is more than enough. You've got 3 Molex connections. You've got your CPU power, which goes into your motherboard to power your CPU, and then you've got your 24-pin power for your motherboard. So yeah, in general, a very nice power supply. It's going to look nice inside this case, even though you ain't going to see it. But yeah, take my advice on the matter, guys. Don't feel if you're building a high spec PC, don't feel that you have to go out and spend shitloads of money on on a 600, 700, 800 watt power supply. It's not needed. It really ain't. As long as you can get a 500 watt. As long as your brand is decent, like EVGA, Cooler Master, whatever, you should be good to go. Obviously, you're going to need more than this if you're running, Crossfire SLI. 500 watt ain't going to be adequate for the build. But if you're like myself, you're just going to be running a decent single GPU. 500 watts going to be more than adequate. Like I say, guys, check the link in the description below. Head over to the Cooler Master website. I think it's Cooler Master, but the link is in the description, and that just basically sends you to a web page which allows you to put basically all your hardware specs inside this database. You calculate it and it will tell you how much power will be taken out of your system, or how much power you will need. Like I said, I was really impressed when I checked out the specs of how much power I'm going to basically need for a power supply, and it said it's around about 350 watts it will basically use, and this is 500 watts, so you've got basically 150 watts just floating around to make the system run smooth. So yeah, nice big decent 120mm fan on there, very nice logo, nice looking power supply. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this quick little unboxing. Nothing serious. Next unboxing, we're going to be unboxing the motherboard and having a quick look at that, and then we will basically talk about the graphics card, and then we will get on with the build itself. So as always guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for listening. As always, do remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao ciao.